Alright, I'm live here on YouTube, and we've got tornado warnings here over some zones now. We've got, I believe it's four tornado warnings up now. And we need to get into the details right now and into the nitty-gritty of what's going on here. I appreciate you joining me here. I've had a couple of struggles setting up these streams here, but now we've got it all set up, and I think this one is going to work okay. So let's go ahead and kind of break down what's going on here. Where is this? This is southern Kentucky right now. These are the warnings that we're going to be looking at this point. And look at this right here. This is a classic tornado signature right here. We've had some alerts throughout the day, or at least the last couple of hours. We had a tornado that probably was on the ground here in western Tennessee. There was great coverage earlier about that on Max Velocity Severe Weather Channel. But anyway, right now you can clearly see here a hook appendage on the storm right here. And that is where we're likely having a tornado on the ground here recently over Interstate 24 near Tylertown Road. So again, you're on an interstate here. You've probably got a lot of people traveling. A very dangerous scenario here to just have that going on with a tornado on the road. And this is an observed tornado, okay? So this is something that needs to be really taken seriously. Let's go ahead and click on this one right here and see what's going on with it. A confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado was located 4 miles west of Guthrie, or 8 miles northeast of Clarksville, moving northeast at 40 miles per hour, okay? You can clearly see that tornado appendage right there. We've got a hook echo on radar. This is the first time I've covered a hook echo of this nature live on radar, but I am, and we're going to see this make its way on off towards the northeast, okay? So we need to watch this very closely. Let's turn on velocity to see the rotation in this storm, and you can clearly, wow, just see right there. I'm going to circle this spot right here. Look at this. We've got a very tight area of rotation right here. You need to take shelter immediately if you're in any of these tornado warnings. I think you're okay here if you're in that southern end of the tornado warning, which is just north of Clarksville, Tennessee now. You can begin to start heading out of your safe place, especially there closer to the airport right there. But in places like Guthrie, these areas here now into Kentucky, this is where you need to be hunkering down, getting in your safe place immediately. In fact, with the storm making its way on off towards the northeast at you're seeing it make its way on off at 40 miles per hour. So I want to go ahead and draw out the little you know, to see how fast this is moving. It's 40 miles per hour, and let's go ahead and see. We've got Guthrie in 8 minutes, Anderson in 9 minutes, Haydensville in 11 minutes. We've got Allensville in 18 minutes. We've also got Olmsted in 23. In 23 minutes, Leva Tours by Ray Mays. Yeah, I just started this stream just a minute ago. Let's go ahead and kind of begin timing this storm out even further. Let's turn that off now. And let's look at correlation coefficient. Do we have a tornado on the ground here? We would be looking for anything that looks, you know, there's a lot of feedback on this map. But what we're looking for an area that's out of the ordinary and kind of different from what we've been seeing. You know, if you just see a generic area of red, there's probably nothing on the ground. But look right there. You see this area right in here that's just moved out of northern Tennessee and into Kentucky. That's an area of debris in the air. This is something that the radar, you know, it's not normal for the radar to be picking something like this up. You can see this moved over right over Interstate 24. They're in the far northern corner, far northern part of Tennessee there. Very dangerous tornado confirmed by the public there, and just, you know, prayers out for everybody in that area. But look at this. You can see clearly there was a debris signature that went just south of the airport there, and it's made its way along like so, and we're seeing this kind of fairly long track tornado make its way on over into Kentucky at this point. This is a dangerous situation right now, and you need to be taking cover. Again, if you're in Kentucky, in these warnings right here, southeast of Trenton. In fact, let's get those counties pulled up for you. If you are in southern Todd County in south central Kentucky, if you are in southwestern Logan County in south central Kentucky, I want you to begin getting in a safe place. Russellville is a bigger city that this is heading towards, but again, it's just crossed over Interstate 24. The debris is kind of right here. It's close to the radar site, so it's hard to tell exactly, you know, what is going on in this area because it's kind of mixing in with other feedback right at the radar. But what I can tell you right now is that this is a very dangerous situation. and you need to be preparing for the worst in those zones. We've also got severe thunderstorm warnings back into Tennessee for in these zones. Some big hail, upwards of near 1.75 inches in diameter right there. In that warning that we're on right here. In fact, let's see where that warning is located. That is in Benton County in West Tennessee, Central Carroll County in West Tennessee, Southeast Harry County in Western Tennessee. Thank you, LA Tours, for the 1,000 subscriber. But yeah, we the warning right here that is a confirmed tornado is this one right here. Let's see what the latest reflectivity is showing us on radar, and not quite as much of a hook appendage. So I think there was definitely on a tornado on the ground right as I was starting the stream, and it's kind of tracked from this area on up into this area just northwest of Guthrie. But here, the tornado is likely, if it's still on the ground in this zone right here, pushing its way on off towards the northeast, towards that Russellville region. And we're going to have to track this. Okay, let's see what we can pull up here with the latest information on that tornado warning. Let's see if there's been any reports of anything yet today. Turn on tornado reports. No. Oh yeah, we do have some tornado reports down already. A few here in that Clarksville area of Tennessee, and this is the area that was getting hit pretty hard earlier. But this is where this tornado just came out of here. And let's see what this is. Tornado continues across northern parts of Clarksville, Tennessee. So let's see if we can load the radar from during that time. Again, we saw a hook appendage work its way across this region. Right, man, I want to pause that so badly. Right there we go. This hook appendage right here is where we likely had a dangerous tornado on the ground, making its way through northern parts of Tennessee, making its way northeastward here into parts of southern Kentucky now, and weakening just a little bit as it does so. So there have been reports now, webcams showing a tornado, many reports, debris on radar at this point as well. So again, we've likely had a tornado on the ground from, let's see what this is here, the Clarksville airport's right here. We had a tornado on the ground from this point here, just north of U.S. Road 79 and west of U.S. 41A. On the ground here into parts, it made its way right on over Interstate 24, and now it's in this tornado warned area on off towards the northeast. Just sad sights to see there, as that continues making its way on off towards the northeast. With our velocity signature right now, let's see if we're still seeing active rotation in this storm. And man, that is still a very tight area of low-level rotation right there. There is likely still a tornado on the ground here in the Guthrie area. This is near Dixie Beeline Highway. Guthrie Road. Here, these are some bigger roads in this area. So this just has to be monitored with a very close eye. Again, this was expected to be a tornado here, a tornado there. So far, that's what we've seen. We haven't seen any, like a widespread tornado outbreak event, but it's looking like this area here into parts of Tennessee and Kentucky has turned out to be pretty much the focal point, and we'll probably have to continue to watch the tornado threat at its highest, at its peak times here as this moves towards Nashville, even towards Bowling Green, Kentucky, with, of course, the tornado chance extended all the way back down here towards Memphis and other areas further south. And we do have a tornado warning down there in northwestern Mississippi that I don't want to ignore here. So let's go ahead and head on down to that radar and kind of see what's happening in that neck of the woods at this point. Let's see if I can get a click on that radar here and switch on over to that radar's velocity. And we do, we have some slightly broader level rotation in this area here as this cell pushes on off towards the Hernando region. We'll see if we can get a tornado to touch down in that area. We've got elevator at 10% significant, really. Let's check that out here on my phone. Yeah, there is an enhanced risk now being issued in that region. Yep, you're exactly correct. Yeah, enhanced risk being thrown right in that area where we're getting some of these tornadoes right here. Again, most of these are expected to be brief and pretty weak, but so far we've already had some damage reports again along this line from this tornado right here. So this is why it's really important, to just always monitor the forecast as if it's going to be the worst tornado that that you're ever going to see in your area. Let's see if I can zoom on in here. Wow, this is just really tight rotation here. Again, northwest of Guthrie. I'm waiting on the latest update on the radar. Let's see if we can get a new reflectivity update. Reflectivity at 302. Still had the storm working on off towards the northeast, just north of Guthrie there, heading on over towards Russellville. So I want you getting in that lowest, most interior room of your house ASAP in this region. This is really dangerous storm here. And let's actually, I want to put the tracker on this further on off towards the north and east. I think moving at about 40 miles per hour here. Again, we've got Anderson in 8 minutes, Herman in 11 minutes, Haydensville in 11 minutes, Allensville in 17 minutes, Daysville in 21, Olmsted in 22 now, Old Volney in 23 minutes, and Lick Skillet in 24 minutes. We've got 8,600 people in that cone that I just drew out there. So that's going to be kind of the area we need to track. Maybe the radar has a problem now. Actually, got hit maybe by the storm, and that's why we're not getting a new update from that radar, because there should be one by now. Let's see if we've got the Nashville radar. See what its latest update is showing here. Yeah, it's got the 307 update. This storm is now making its way on over towards Olmsted already at this point, and some rotation is likely crossing over from this area of the tornado warning here to this area of the tornado warning over here. And with our velocity, let's pull that on up for us. Again, it's looking, this is going to show a little broader because it's from a radar further away. We've still got some tight rotation in here moving on off towards the northeast. I'm assuming there's still a tornado on the ground. So if you live in Olmsted, Lick Skillet, Dot, Russellville up here, all these areas, you need to be monitoring this. Right now it looks like it's going to continue to trek like so. So if you're in Russellville, probably skirting just to the south of town. Not to say that you couldn't see a shift into the Russellville area, but right now the tornado track looks like it would continue like that if we were able to continue to see a tornado stay on the ground. So we'll have to see if that will persist as this warning continues on off towards the northeast. Again, these are pretty much our only tornado warnings that we have right now. Thankfully, this one over towards Hernando now being converted in Mississippi, now being converted on over to a severe thunderstorm warning there, by the way. So again, near Russellville here, very tight rotation. Let's head on back over to that local radar, see if it's gotten any new updates. Yeah, the 306 update just showing extremely tight rotation, greens meeting reds right on top of each other. Wherever you see greens meeting reds like that, you see bright yellows, you see pretty bright greens. That's where you're having very strong rotation on the ground. This is a dangerous, severe storm capable of that tornado on the ground right now. This is near, let's see where this is near. It's probably on off towards the northeast of this now, and it's actually beginning to head quickly out here towards Olmsted and Lick Skillet. So this was updated at 306, and the signature was right here. I would not be shocked if the signature is already here, maybe even crossing on over into the new tornado warning. So I want you in Olmsted and Lick Skillet right now, into your safest place you can be. Anywhere in this next tornado warning, you need to be in the safest place you can be. Back here southwest of Trenton, these zones over here, I think you're getting safer to get out of your you can get out of your safe room now. But this is insane, what I'm covering right now. Here's the latest radar. There's that appendage on the radar right there as of 3:08. Again, it's moving kind of along and paralleling now U.S. Route 79 and heading on up towards Olmsted, Lick Skillet, towards Russellville, these areas. Just a tragic event here, as we've already had those tornado warnings again on the ground. And let's see what this tornado report was back here, just northeast of Dover. Power lines on the road with debris signature noted on radar. Let's see if that's from that same storm. Yeah, this is the same storm, so it's been trekking all the way along. We had the tornado appendage all the way along from just northeast of Dover there in Tennessee, now moving into Kentucky. So there's a good stretch where we've had a tornado on the ground now, and let's actually see if let's measure out how far that is. We've had a tornado on the ground for maybe 20 plus miles here at this point. That is the long track tornado here, and making its way. Man, I just hate to see that. So let's close out the radar history mode and see what's going on now. Again, there's that appendage here. It's exiting this first tornado warning. Yep, now we're getting the latest radar update. Exiting this first tornado warning zone, now heading on off towards the northeast into the Russellville area just south of town. This is a dangerous tornado, a hook echo on radar here. Even down towards Clarksville, I would monitor that cell for some, you can see a little bit of rotation in that cell down there. But again, the extremely tight rotation is in this cell here is in southern Kentucky. Let's give you those counties again. Southern Todd County and south central Kentucky. And we've got southwestern Logan County here as well. So I want you to be taking shelter right now. This is critical situation here with this tornado that's been on the ground now for 25 miles. Okay, here we go. Here's the latest velocity scan. Man, just look at that. We've got a tornado on the ground right here near Allensville right now, crossing out of that first tornado warning into that second one. Tornado on the ground right now. Look at that. You can clearly see the hook echo right here. That's when you've got wind moving like so. Wind coming, rotating like that. This is some strong rotation moving right overhead of Allensville area at this time. I feel you in the chat. Yeah, just heartbreaking to see something like this going on radar right now. And unfortunately, what we're looking at right there, you see a lot of feedback on this. You see areas with blues and greens on the mix here, but what you're seeing right now in this blue area, that is a tornado on the ground. That is debris. This could be pieces of homes, pieces of buildings, cars. We don't know what this is, but the radar is picking something up that's not rain, that is not hail, that is not related to it's related to weather in the sense that something damaged these structures, but this is not directly precipitation of any kind. This is a tornado on the ground lofting debris into the sky, and you can see how that is just tracked all the way into Kentucky now. Again, we're seeing this move on into Logan County at this point, with a large and dangerous tornado on the ground into southwestern Logan County, exiting parts of Todd County right now. So this is a tragic situation. Yeah, everybody stay safe. Right now, again, this is pretty much our only really concerning tornado on the ground right now. We do have severe thunderstorm warnings that go all the way back into southeastern Arkansas and northwestern Mississippi that I want to continue to monitor for any tornadoes to pop up there. But I just want to continue to keep my eyes on this tornado. Oh, we've got a new tornado report in right here. And this is 7 miles northeast of Clarksville, Tennessee. Tornado crossed into Kentucky around this location. So I'm glad emergency services are keeping a really close keeping a close track on this tornado as it exits those areas. But now we've seen a tornado on the ground for about let's do this. We've had a tornado on the ground now for 37 miles or so, 36 to 37 miles, and I'm adding to 37 because it was probably on the ground a little bit before that 36 point. And look at this. This is that debris right here. We have debris in the air flying towards you at a quick speed of 40 miles per hour. We're seeing the storm move at 40 miles per hour. We've got a tornado spinning right here, heading towards the Lick Skillet area right now. And let's turn on the latest velocity signature. Man, look at that. That yellow area right there is indicative of where there's a tornado on the ground. Heading on off towards the northeast. This is going to be heading towards Russellville soon, just south of you there in Russellville. There's already a tornado warning that extends to Bowling Green with this now, just because of how intense this cell itself is. So if you live into these counties here that I'm about to list off. So, of course, we've got this in Logan County right now. So, southeastern Logan County, northern Simpson County, and into southwestern Warren County. all of you need to be getting prepared very soon for what is a tornado on the ground just south of US 79, southwest of Russellville there in Kentucky. You need to be prepared for a tornado to be headed your way. It has gone 37 miles and it doesn't seem like it's stopping right now. So my call on mostly non-long track tornadoes earlier, unfortunately, this is going to be a long track tornado probably, and it's just best to admit that was a little bit wrong. Okay, with a lack of long track tornadoes. We're not seeing that. We're seeing a long track tornado on the ground right now. We haven't seen any others like this today, though. This is an extremely long track one. If it continues just consistently heading on off towards the northeast, and if it makes its way especially south of Bowling Green. By the way, hit the like button to push this out to more people. But let's get up that latest product again. This storm, very dangerous. Let's time this on out. Put a track on this onto the northeast here, moving at 40 miles per hour. Let's put the track on, and we're looking at Olmsted and pretty much right now, Lickskillet, and then Oakville in 15 minutes, Dennis in 26 minutes, Middleton in 27 minutes. Not a huge population zone necessarily that the storm is moving over at this point. I mean, that doesn't matter. We've got smaller communities being impacted right now. We could have homes, and there's something being torn apart, whether it be trees being thrown into the air, pieces of homes and buildings. You can clearly see that right there. That is objects in the air. This is correlation coefficient, just looking for stuff out of the ordinary that a radar wouldn't normally detect. And there is quite visibly a tornado on the ground right here, moving towards Lickskillet, heading on over towards Corinth there in southern Kentucky now. And this has had a history of producing dangerous tornado conditions. Again, we don't know how strong of a tornado, but there have been reports of damage here through parts of northern Tennessee, around and just north of Clarksville, Tennessee, seeing those significant impacts. Let's continue timing this out here. Okay, we've got a new tornado warning back on over into parts of Tennessee as well. I don't, with this warning ongoing, I don't want to completely, just leave out these other areas. This tornado warning right here, let's see how significant this looks. We've got maybe some rotation here. This looks more like a damaging windstorm right in that area. So actually I'm going to head back on over to our really damaging tornado event that we've got going on right now into parts of southern Kentucky. So let's head on over to that at this point and see kind of what's going on in that region. Again, we've still got this very dangerous tornado. It's pretty much right over Lickskillet at this point, passing just south of Olmsted, staying just south of US 79. But the problem is, back here in northern Tennessee, near the St. Bethlehem area, this went right over Interstate 24. If there was any sort of traffic on the highway, extremely concerning. That there could have been, drivers in the path of this. There have been homes and businesses in the path of this. This is continuing on off towards the northeast right now, towards Auburn, in Kentucky, South Union, Corinth, Middleton, Skokow, all these areas. I just want you to be ready for what is on the way, because this tornado has been confirmed large, dangerous. It's on the ground right now, very tight rotation. Let's click on the latest correlation coefficient. Again, there's that damage on the ground moving just east of Allensville, heading on up towards Lickskillet. If you're just tuning in now, go ahead and hit that like button for me. It pushes us out to more people and helps more people stay safe here in the path of these storms. But again, this has been on the ground for about 40 miles now and is not anticipated to slow down. If you live in Bowling Green, areas south, you need to be getting ready to get in your safe place. This is the lowest, most interior room in your house right now, okay? You need to be getting in that place as soon as possible, because we know there is a tornado, probably not an EF0 or EF1, on the ground right here, just south of Russellville. This has the chance to be one of, if not the strongest tornado we see all day. Because, again, we don't have many other actual tornado warnings on the ground right now other than this one, and this one's just kind of a little bit of an early warning scenario. Not necessarily a tornado on the ground there with this one in Tennessee. We need to monitor that one, though, and get in your safe room in that one as well. But, again, my main focus remains on this one in southern Kentucky here. Turning on that velocity signature again, you can just see the green's not meeting the reds quite as sharply here, but you've still got that bright yellow area within the red. And that right there is exactly where that tornado has been here. 320 was the latest update on this radar map, so not too long ago here. This is continuing to make its way on off towards the northeast, towards Corinth, here in southern Kentucky. Again, just to kind of give you a look at where we are, we're well southwest of Lexington, Kentucky, but we're nearing Bowling Green, Kentucky with this storm right now. Zooming in on in again with this, a little bit of a weird mix here of some of the colors. Could there be two areas of rotation with this now? Maybe. So could there be two tornadoes on the ground based on the way these two colors are mixing right here? Probably not, but we need to see how that keeps looking. If there are two areas of rotation, that'd be even worse. But right now it looks like this right here, just northeast of Lick Skillet now, is looking like the worst appendage on radar at this point, as this cell continues to track on off towards the northeast. And again, we're seeing this approach Corinth, Kentucky, approach places like Bowling Green eventually here in southern Kentucky. So just a tragic scenario to see. Again, this storm has been producing a tornado that's been on the ground here for quite a while. From Clarksville northeastward, look at that appendage it had exiting northern Tennessee right there and making its way on off towards the northeast, and we continue to see that appendage linger here, even in the Lick Skillet zone. So this is what we really have to be watching right now for a damaging tornado on the ground at this time. And that warning continues to head on off towards the east and the northeast. In terms of other warnings, we've got a lot of severe thunderstorm warnings. Again, you can see how this is lined up straight. Ooh, that was a terrible line. This is lined up like so. And we've got tornado warnings and severe thunderstorm warnings all along this line at this point. Again, I said today there would be a tornado here, a tornado there. This is pretty much turning out like that. What I didn't say today, though, was that I was anticipating this strong of a tornado, which is why you just got to be ready. I said, I just hate to see this looking like this on radar right now. We knew there was going to be a slight risk. Whenever you have a slight risk, you still have that chance for damaging tornado. This is probably at least an EF1, maybe EF2 plus tornado on the ground right here. Continuing to progress on off towards the northeast here into parts of Kentucky. Let's pull up the correlation coefficient. And again, what's going on here? We've got kind of a bigger area of debris. Could there be two areas of rotation trying to mingle or touch the ground together here? Certainly possible. So just wow. South of U.S. Highway 79 here, southwest of Russellville here in Kentucky. This has been on the ground for 45 miles, and I've been tracking it for a good while of that, since it was around 20 miles in its lifespan. Okay, here we go, the latest correlation coefficient. Some of that debris maybe kind of coming apart here a little bit, flying out ahead of that tornado now towards Corinth. If you're in Corinth, any of these areas in these tornado warnings, if you see your area on this screen right now, you need to be on the safe place right now. This is not a joke, anyone. If you're south of Russellville, if you're near Corinth, if you're heading on off anywhere in this warning here, exiting Logan County, heading on up into parts of Simpson County and Warren County, you need to be in that safe place right now. This is not a joke. You need to be getting in that lowest, most interior room in your house at this point, because this is an extremely dangerous tornado right here. No signs of stopping. Yellow meeting green. I mean, this is as clear as day. Okay, I'm no expert. Okay, and I'm on YouTube doing weather, and I continue to learn, and I have people learning with me. Okay, and right here, this is definitely the worst I've seen on radar in a while, and definitely the worst I've covered on a live stream here using Radar Omega, and I'm glad I can do it with you. Anyway, we'll just hopefully keeping people safe here into parts of southern Kentucky. I want to just give you an overview over what's going on elsewhere. If you live in places like Little Rock, Arkansas, you're not in a tornado watch. I think you're pretty much, the threat is east of you, or seeing the threat really begin to head east of this line right here that I'm drawing. So if you're west of that line, you're beginning to enter overall the clear with this system. But let's zoom back in on that tornado warning just south of Russellville here in Kentucky. Just tragic to be seeing this on the ground like so. Pulling back up the reflectivity here. Again, not looking quite as impressive on that, but again, we still had debris lofted in the air. US 79. This is 431 right here. This is US 431. Tornado been tracking along like so. Wow, and just okay, and continue to see what's going on here with the latest update on the radar. I'm trying to keep my voice in check as well. This is just northwest of Oakville, heading towards Corinth. Let's put the latest track on this here. On off towards moving at 40 miles per hour. Dennis in 14 minutes, Auburn in 21 minutes, South Union in 25 minutes with this storm. This is again a potentially deadly tornado that's been on the ground for at least about 50 miles at this point. Because look at where the tornado report started with this. Tornado report started over here, just northeast of Dover, in Tennessee. Okay, so we've had tornado on the ground here for a while. County was in Stewart County where this likely started, and now this is on over in Logan County, Kentucky. Now exiting those zones and heading into this other part of the tornado warning here. It's been doing so for a little while now. This new tornado warning that's been issued for about 10 minutes now, as this continues moving towards Bowling Green. Again, Bowling Green's airport right here could be in the direct line of fire. This is eventually going to be heading on off towards Interstate 65. So right now this might not be in a very populated area, but it is going to be in a very populated area in a matter of time. Okay, so as this makes its way on off towards the northeast, kind of paralleling US 79 and US 68 here. This is just going to be, just pretty significant impacts here, heading towards Bowling Green in Kentucky. I think the sound is working okay right now. And let's go ahead and pull back on up the correlation coefficient. See what kind of damage we're seeing blow on through these zones. And, again, what you're looking for in a correlation coefficient map, you're looking for colors out of the ordinary. Obviously, this big blob of blue right here is out of the ordinary. That's just feedback if you see a big mass like that. What you're looking for is a small little area of colors that don't mix up with those reds on your screen. This right here, that doesn't those two spots right there, those are some areas of debris. One of those might just be kind of lingering around. Both these areas are areas of debris right now, where there's debris on the ground in these locations. So let's see here. Hopefully this is being displayed correctly right now to everyone watching. Yeah, we've got a really dangerous piece of energy making its way just southeast of Russellville, heading on off towards Auburn, South Union, Rockfield, on off towards Bowling Green. And again, this is looking like it's going to make its way kind of right along or just south of the Bowling Green area here in Kentucky. This is heading towards a more populated area, and it doesn't matter who it's hit already. It's just tragic for anyone it's hit, and prayers out for you. But I've been covering this for a while. It's impacted so many areas. Look at this, okay? I put Bowling Green and suburbs here in the track. We've got this cone right here has 100,000 people in it. We've got 100,000 people in the track of a large and dangerous tornado right now. And again, not all 100,000 people are going to get hit, but we don't know exactly where this is going to go along this line right now. We know that with the overall warning, we've got an appendage right here on radar. So this is why it is just so utterly important that if you live in Bowling Green, in these areas, as the storm makes its way towards, Interstate 65 here, this is why you got to be ready for a large and dangerous, probably our most large and dangerous tornado on the ground, and hopefully the most large and dangerous tornado on the ground of the day, because we don't want any more like this one to hit the ground today. But again, this has made its way on over from Stewart County in Tennessee. Now we're in exiting Logan County in Kentucky. Let's draw out the latest distance plot here. This tornado has now been on the ground for about 55, maybe 60 miles at this point. especially if you include the area it hasn't even shown up on yet on the radar. So this is very tragic situation right now. South of you in Russellville by about maybe 5 miles here. This is just west of Corinth, making its way on off towards the northeast. This is south of Auburn in Kentucky. Probably going to head south of South Union and Rockfield, but kind of head through the suburbs right along this. This is my anticipated track with this tornado here. And we'll see if this continues to head on off like this. And stay within this zone. And I'm actually going to leave it on the velocity here for a minute here. And I'm going to start talking again in about 30 seconds. Give me a second just to catch my breath. Okay. All right. Yeah, so kind of again south of Auburn, like so. This is that track I'm anticipating this tornado to kind of stay on here as it makes its way on off towards the north and the east. Might be a little bit of a lag on the stream here. Yeah, the stream's just a little bit. Okay. So again, we're seeing this tornado kind of make its way on out of the areas southeast of Russellville, heading on up towards Bowling Green. The Bowling Green Airport here. These areas are going to be in that track, just not too far away. Again, okay, here we go. Here's the latest. Look at this again, correlation coefficient. We clearly have a little area of debris, maybe getting a little smaller there. Hopefully this tornado is starting to maybe come on down. We've got an airport right here, just southeast of Russellville. So hopefully this area of debris is starting to get a little bit smaller at this point. Okay. But anyway, just got to keep monitoring this. In the as it makes its way off towards the northeast. Shadow Nam 3 kilometer went crazy. Hi Just Hoops. Good to see everybody down here. Maria Torres. Good to see you guys in the comments. Again, we've got a large and dangerous tornado potentially on the ground right here just southeast of Russellville there into parts of Kentucky. Okay, this is a dangerous storm as it makes its way. But this makes its way on off towards the northeast. Ooh. So this is a dangerous situation, making its way on off towards the northeast and towards the Bowling Green area right now. Let's see where the live stream is right now on my end. Okay, it's just running a little bit behind. Okay, continuing to see this tornado warning make its way along that 68 corridor here, US 68. We're continuing to see that make its way along. Didn't mean to. Okay, just southeast of Russellville, we're continuing to see this make its way towards Bowling Green there. In Kentucky, this area right now, you need to be taking shelter in any of the following areas as this makes its way on off towards the north and east. Dennis, Auburn, South Union, Petros, Browning, these areas, you need to prepare for a dangerous tornado on your doorstep very soon. So you can see this tornado making its way along at this point. And this is just a dangerous situation, damaging situation at that. I mean, again, let's look at what's going on here. There's rain being calculated by the radar here. And then there's maybe a tornado on the ground in some of these zones as well. Whew. This has been a heck of a tornado to track as it makes its way along here. So this is tragic to see a tornado moving along like so, and making its way on up towards Bowling Green. there in Kentucky. So very dangerous tornado here, and I've been on this thing, covering this tornado for about maybe 30 minutes now. So thank you to everyone who's with me. Just Hoops. Yes, there is a tornado on the ground right now, and it's actually made its way from parts of Clarksville, Tennessee, all the way on up here into parts of Russellville now. So this has been on the ground for 35 or 30 minutes here at plus, and it's been on the ground for maybe 60 miles at this point. So this is very damaging. And what you're looking at here on your screen, you've got colors mixing together right in this zone. And what we're just looking at, colors mixing. So we're just looking at this area here. I'm getting some spam in the chat, so I'm going to time that comment out. But anyway, you can see we've got the storm making its way on off towards the north and east, towards Bowling Green, towards Plum Springs region, and towards Smiths Grove. So all these areas, you need to be preparing for a tornado to be impacting your area very soon. Again, we've consistently seen this on the ground, and again, this was not anticipated with today's threat. So this is southeast of Russellville, nearing Auburn. Yeah, it's just amazing how things can change. I agree with you, Rain Maves. Let's see what I'm looking at here. Okay, my stream looks to be just about 2. You're seeing what I'm saying, about 2 minutes behind when I say it, so not too far off. That's the good news. I haven't been doing many streams, so I'm trying to figure out how to speed them up. And making them up towards the northeast. The cell continues to head. So just assume this is a little bit ahead of when I'm talking about it. So in places like Auburn, it's probably over you right now. South Union, these areas, you can just see this making its way on up towards Rockfield, towards the Lost River, towards Bowling Green, the airport. All these areas, I would just be anticipating dangerous tornado impacts possible in this zone. And we've still got a potential tornado on the ground. Right now, it's been on the ground for probably 70 miles at this point. And the good news is that it's looking like the correlation coefficient is showing better signs now as the tornado might be coming off the ground here in this zone. But I've been covering this tornado all the way along. This has been a dangerous tornado, and we've got other radar-indicated tornado warnings back along this line. We've got a tornado warning here exiting southeastern Arkansas, moving into northern Mississippi. Thank you, Rain Maves, for the support once again. So we've got 5 tornado warnings on the ground now. Again, zooming in here on the one nearing Bowling Green. We're beginning to see this rotation. Okay, we're seeing the yellow fade a little bit. We're seeing the greener colors broaden out a little bit. So overall in these areas, this rotation is kind of fading away a little bit, but anyway, moving on up towards Bowling Green, Lost River region, we've got just significant impacts heading in that direction with greens and reds mixing, and whether or not this is a tornado on the ground, we're still seeing some debris probably raining on down in the Auburn area. We'll begin to see this turn into more of a damaging wind threat as it makes its way on off towards the northeast. But I think we're beginning to see this tornado phase on out of its worst stages here. As you can see, this is, again, kind of turning into more of a linear segment. And again, this has been kind of what's anticipated all along, for this to be more of a line. You can see this starting to form that line. This is going to turn into more of a line as the day goes on, as a storm system. The cold front itself develops more with the storm system. Let's see what that tornado report was just northeast of Guthrie there. Terrain spotter reports many trees and power lines down. Barns destroyed, in addition to minor damage to houses along US 79 southwest of Allensville. Time estimated 3:11 p.m. And 3:11 p.m. is in, I think, my time. So this is about 30 minutes ago. I'm in Eastern time. But again, we've had a tornado on the ground here. A damaging tornado at that. Continuing to see this make its way on off towards the north and east. And it does look like this cell is weakening just a little bit. Not much, but a little bit. Do we still have debris in the air? And there just might not be anything for a tornado to roll over in this area, so there might not necessarily not be a tornado on the ground. There might still be one, but there just might not be heading over anything that it can loft debris into the sky with. I mean, I certainly don't see the hook echo I was seeing earlier with this storm. Okay, I can definitely guarantee you that. Heading on off, just probably going to, again, this is the track I was expecting it to move on, like so. Bowling Green Airport eventually being in the crosshairs of this as it makes its way on off towards the northeast. And this is going to be south of South Union, south of Rockfield, south of Lost River. Waiting on the latest velocity information here. Looking like this is starting to weaken just a little bit. We've still got that yellow area. It's not combining with the green quite as much. Kind of a broader appendage there a little bit. Over this entire area, we've still got some tornado warnings extending back into Tennessee. Let's see if any of these are observed. None observed. Wow. So we likely continue to see some sort of tornado appendage on the ground in southern Kentucky this evening. And this tornado threat's probably going to go down a little bit.